Now this is the key to success. Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicole Concilio and welcome to the video, y'all. I got my little insert name here, bun piece on. What do you guys think? Can I pull it off? I feel like it's very similar to the color of my hair, so it like works out pretty good. So on my last video that I did recreating Meg Thee Stallion's makeup look in the music video WAP, I had asked you guys if you wanted to see some makeup tips and tricks in a video that I kind of like to do, and I feel like I haven't really gone through like technical makeup things in a really long time. It's just been reviews on my channel. So I kind of want to take a step back and get back to my roots a little bit and do these little makeup hacks that I like to do and little things, tips and tricks that I like to do. Now, some of these tricks you guys may already know from me or other artists out there. I've honestly been doing a lot of these tricks on my channel a really long time, but I've never really like condensed them into one video. So that is what we are going to be doing today. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do my brows off camera. There's not really any brow hacks that I currently have, and we will be right back. Okay, again, I just want to reiterate, some of these hacks you guys may already know. You may have seen me do them a bunch of times, but I have never compiled them into a video. Sorry, I just felt like I needed to say that because we are first going to be starting off with color correcting, and I feel like everybody knows about color correcting. Everybody knows about it, but I have recently, like within the past 3-4 months, have found a new way of color correcting that I think is a bit more flattering and a bit easier to blend out and do all that stuff. So before I do that, I'm gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Vegan Moisturizer, and I'm gonna be using this almost like as a primer. I always apply this before any face makeup because I have such dry skin, so if I don't have a nice moisturizer down underneath, everything can get a little bit patchy and cling to dry flakes. So that's why I specifically tend to gravitate towards this thick moisturizer. Okay, so for color correcting, I'm gonna show you guys how I like to cancel out darkness, weirdness, veins, whatever on my face. So the two colors I'm going to be using today are kind of like this yellowy color and a lavender color. First, I'm going to be applying the yellow one. These concealers are from Kimchi Chic Beauty, and I'm going to be applying this in the areas where I have my dark circles and where I have just issues in general, which is like about here. And I also have like just some bluish kind of coloring around here, and I honestly just think it's like maybe even a little bit of scarring that I got from my lip fillers that I used to have, because you guys know right now there's no filler in my lips whatsoever. It's completely dissolved. Now we're gonna go in and blend it out. Here we go. We got kind of this messy look going on. It looks really yellow. Next, we're gonna take this lavender and it's gonna neutralize everything. You're gonna be shook, because I really was when I first used the purple, like this combination. And now we're just gonna go in and blend that purple. I get shook every time I do this because of just how nicely it cancels everything out. And there you guys have it. All of the dark circles have been corrected. Everything's kind of like an even color. Honestly, when you do this, you don't have to wear as much makeup as you normally would because you're already kind of like fixing the problem before even doing anything. I'm going to go ahead and quickly apply some foundation off camera and come back with another concealer hack for you guys. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the Kimchi Chic Beauty, the Most Concealer in Light Amber. And with concealer, I feel like now more than ever, I'm realizing less is more. When I first started my makeup career about 5 years ago, I lathered on more concealer than a freaking Times Square billboard. Like, it was literally so much concealer that I did not need. And there's some little tricks that I've been doing and just like better ways of applying concealer that I want to share with you guys. And what I like to do is add some concealer back here to give the illusion of kind of like lifted eyes, make everything look a little bit more brighter, a little bit more awake. And the other part where I focus concealer is kind of like just right in this area. And I find that concealer in these areas just is very flattering for my face. It doesn't feel too cakey, gives me that lifted look. And I always find that like when I add too much product, I find that I almost look a little bit older, a little bit like wrinklier, a little bit cakier. I know that there's like a lot of other makeup artists that do this technique, so this may not be life-changing to you. I think it's pretty freaking awesome. And you kind of like blend, oh my God, I just almost dropped my water everywhere. You kind of like blend it upwards and you see how it kind of like snatches everything, and then just making sure I have a really bright inner corner, because that is where I have the most dark circles and the most problems in general. And next I'm going to be going in with some Laura Mercier setting powder. And I'm using my Laura Lee Los Angeles brushes, and we're gonna pat out any creasing that may have formed before we set the foundation. This I find to be one of the most important steps in the entire freaking world when it comes to setting your face. And then going right in directly and not really necessarily baking the powder, but just dusting it away. This is a great hack to do for anybody who has dry skin or has a little bit more mature skin. I find that less is always more, and I have just found so much better success from pushing product into my skin. I also have an extremely difficult nose with keeping product on it, so I'm really excited to show you guys how I like to do my nose contour and stuff like that. All right, let's talk about noses and how much of a they are to keep foundation on, especially if you have oily skin and especially if you have dry skin. No matter what I do, my nose is always the point of area that's got the worst dry skin and dry patches. So for me, it's very hard for makeup to stay on that. It always wants to come off. If I put powder on my nose a lot, it'll look literally dry, like a cactus, like SpongeBob dry, like looking for water.
Water would be nice.
So what I have found specifically that's worked for me with my dry skin is tapping product. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my Marc Jacobs bronzer. I love this bronzer to contour. It's shade 104 Tantastic. And we're going to be taking our JD80 180 Luxie brush. This is one of the best nose contouring brushes ever. I always tap off the excess and do a swipe or two on the back of my hand. And what we're gonna do is start in the area that you wanna focus most of the contour on. So for me, I'm pretty happy with the bridge of my nose and this region. It's more down here that I want slimming. So I always start like around right here and get it moving and grooving. And I lay it down pretty dark and I do like tapping motions like that. Nothing is sweeped because once I start sweeping, that's when my nose starts weeping. No, seriously though, like anytime I swipe, makeup just comes off. So I have found throughout the years that tapping is the best situation for my nose overall. And we're getting these lines nice and harsh, what have you, and that's it, right? Now this is the key to success. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm really hyper and really excited because Shark Week is on tonight. So now I'm going to be taking a large, puffy, powdery brush. This is a brush that I like to use to dust powder off my face, translucent powder, whatever it may be. So what you're gonna do now is, since I haven't cleaned this brush, there is still some powder residue left in it. So you don't need to pick up any extra translucent powder. You're just gonna use what is left on the brush and you're gonna start tapping your nose like so. Tap, tap, tap on both sides. What I like to do is sometimes I'll squish the brush and tap the sides of my nose right here. Everything is tap, 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 tap. This is the only way I'm able to blend out my nose contour without makeup coming off of my nose. And again, this is specifically for me with dry skin. When it comes to oily skin, you're probably gonna wanna use way more powder in way more situation like that because it's the oil that's coming through that's breaking up the makeup. So as you can see, we blended it pretty well. It's a little bit more harsh right here, which is what I like. I wanna look like I actually contoured my nose, you know what I mean? This is one of the most random makeup tricks that I honestly didn't get from anyone. I just randomly taught myself. I was like, you know what happens when I just sit here and tap? Like what happens? And honestly, it's been one of my like favorite secrets ever. This next hack is gonna be all about bronzer. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my bronzer off camera because the hack happens after you've applied your bronzer, okay? All right, let's say you're applying your bronzer, your contour, whatever you wanna call it. You feel like you got a little bit muddiness going on here, or you feel like you went out of line. I'm kind of like trying to mess up on purpose, but it's hard. It's like my body won't let me. Let's say you're not like a huge fan of how your contour is looking, right? I like to do, and I touched on this in my previous Meg video, what I like to do is take my beauty blender that I've used to apply my foundation, I used it to apply my concealer, and just push right where I want to clean up my contour. And it literally works wonders. You see that? You see how much more chiseled that is? And what I do to kind of, you know, make it blend a little bit more, because right now it kind of just looks like, oh, okay, she just popped something on there. It's not like blended nicely. What I will then do is take a big fluffy brush, that same guy we used earlier on our nose, and I will just go back and forth and kind of blend it. This is one of my favorite hacks ever that I like accidentally found out one day. I made my contour a little bit muddy. I feel like beauty blenders, sponges, they fix so much of your problems. They make your life so much easier. That's why they are so freaking popular. But that is seriously one of my favorite hacks. And you can also use that on blush. I find that if you apply too much blush or apply too much highlighter, you can erase it with a beauty blender. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some highlighter off camera, and we'll be back for blush, and I'll show you how you can dilute your blush with the beauty blender. Okay, let's put on too much blush. We're gonna be using this ColourPop blush. I love this blush. This is in Night Bloom, and this is part of their like garden collection or whatever. Wow! So let's say you apply too much blush and you're looking like this. You then go ahead, go in with your beauty blender, and look at how much that has already diminished compared to the other side. Like, I'm telling you, beauty blenders work magic. Just go beauty blender it out. I am telling you, beauty blender it out. Another little hack that I like to do, and in my opinion, I feel like makeup is all about layering. My face is extremely porous. It's constantly absorbing any type of color I put on it. So what I like to do is after I have my highlighter and my blush on, I will go back in with bronzer and kind of layer it on top of everything. And this is honestly only a hack that I think would work really good for people who have dry skin or have a problem with their skin absorbing products. You can see it looks like very pretty and airbrushed. I really love the way that looks, and I've always kind of layered my bronzers like that just because of how porous my skin is. Another makeup hack that I love to do, and a lot of you guys may know this already, is putting a lot of bronzer underneath my neck. I feel like now more than ever, I have tech neck where I'm like looking down at my phone like this, and I'm like kind of getting a little bit of flabby skin here and some neck wrinkles. I don't even dust off the excess. I take it and I literally go ham underneath my chin. A lot of people don't know this, but I always think you should contour behind your ear. That's another hack of mine that I love to do. So I'll take the bronzer and I'll just contour like from here to about here, and I will just bronze back here. That's another hack that I do to get this poppin'. And the last hack I'm gonna be showing you guys for the face, because I'm thinking I'm gonna make this a 2-part series, like hacks for my foundation and stuff like that for the face, and then hacks for eyeshadow. Because honestly, I could sit here and do hacks for my eyeshadow, but this video would probably be like an hour long. Oh, hey Momos, you woke up? He's like on his back rolling in the bed. So I'm honestly thinking about making 2 videos of this, and I hope you guys are okay with that. But the last hack that I wanna talk about is setting spray. And setting spray is so important when it comes to your makeup, especially if you do have dry skin, and if you do have oily skin, you wanna definitely use some type of mattifying setting spray. They have so many on the market nowadays. And what I like to do is first apply a mist or whatever it may be, not even technically a setting spray, just like a makeup refresher. I like to set my face like a ton of times because I find that refreshing it is what kind of gives it that flawless glow. So what I'll do is I'm gonna be going in with the Dominique Cosmetics and JD Wady 180, and I'll focus this hydrating mist in the areas that are the most dry. So that is right here for me. So I'm just gonna go in and use my fan. Oh no, it's dead. I forgot to charge it. Well, a fan is definitely really nice to have. And then what I'll do is I'll take my actual setting spray, the Urban Decay one, is set the outer sides of my face. Like, I will only keep the hydrating stuff in the center, and then everything else, like the actual setting sprays, I will kind of spray outside of my face and keep the middle to that hydrating mist. Because I've found even just having dry skin, sometimes regular setting sprays can make my skin look a little bit old. He does it when I'm talking because he knows I'm not paying attention to him. But yeah, you guys, this is kind of how I like to do my base. These are my little hacks. Let me know if you guys want some eyeshadow hacks. Whatever you guys think, truly, if you want it, I can absolutely film it. But this is how I've been getting kind of like my skin to cooperate with me and mixing up any mistakes that I make. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, you want to say bye? Oh, big boy. Say bye-bye.